Hello, my dear students, and welcome once again to Zenith Academy Online. Today, we are doing a very important chapter of mathematics, that is quadratic equations. Now, this is lesson 1 or lecture 1 of the series of quadratic equations. So, be there with me for the whole series where I will explain you all the concepts of quadratic equations in detail, all the methods of solving quadratic equations in detail, and then we will do a lot of questions also from the same chapter. So let's begin our class for today. So what are we going to study today? Quadratic equations. So in today's lecture, we are going to study these topics: writing the quadratic equations, identifying the quadratic equations, checking whether the given values are roots or solutions of the quadratic equations, and finding the unknown value k. So let's begin. First of all, students, you should understand what is the standard form of a quadratic equation. For example, if I write something like this: 4x square plus 2x minus 7 is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. Okay. What is the standard form of a quadratic equation? There will be x square. Okay. Variable x or any variable with the power 2. So x square is there. The coefficient of x square will be whatever the coefficient is there, it is known as a. Then there will be x, that is any variable with the power 1. So its coefficient is known as b. And then there will be a constant number. So constant can be any variable with the power 0, isn't it? So anything with the power 0 is actually 1. So only if we write c, that's okay, and that will be equated to 0 because it is a quadratic equation. So my dear students, if you see, if you compare this statement ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 with this 4x square plus 2x minus 7 is equal to 0, then in this case a is equal to 4, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to minus 7, isn't it? Now you should understand कि this coefficient, ये जो x square का जो coefficient है, this coefficient of the variable with the power 2, this coefficient is known as leading coefficient. Okay. And it is very, very important that this leading coefficient, that is a, should never be equal to 0. Okay. See here, a, b and c are all real numbers. A can never be equal to 0. Why a can never be equal to 0? Now suppose, see here, if I take this a equal to 0. Okay, I'll rub this off and I will explain you. Okay, if I take this a as 0. So 0x square, the whole terms becomes 0. So it becomes only 2x minus 7 is equal to 0. Now this is not quadratic anymore. This is a linear equation. Correct? So see, what is quadratic? The name quadratic comes from quad, meaning square, because the variable gets squared like x square. It is very, very important to have an x square in the equation. So ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This square, this is the one which is making it quadratic. So if this full term is not there, it doesn't remain quadratic at all, isn't it? Did you get it, my dear students? So this is the standard form of quadratic equation. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, c, all three of them are real numbers, and this a should never be equal to 0. This a can be a positive number, a negative number, even it can be in decimal or square root, कुछ भी हो सकता है, बस सिर्फ 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. Have you understood? So the name quadratic comes from quad, meaning square, because the variable gets squared. The variable gets squared, x2. It is also called equation of degree 2 because of the 2 on the variable x. Okay. So now Quadratic equations. How do we define quadratic equations? Quadratic equations are the polynomial equations of degree 2 in one variable, okay, of the type. So f of x is, हमने polynomial chapter पढ़ा है 9th standard में. So function or polynomial of the variable x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. This is the standard form, and since it is equated, okay, then that is why it is known as quadratic equation. You know what is a polynomial, right? So you know what is a quadratic polynomial, which is having a degree of 2. So if I write 4x square plus 3x minus 1 is equal to 0 is, oh sorry, this is not equated. So what is this? This is a quadratic polynomial. It is a polynomial because it is having 3 terms, and it is quadratic because the highest power is 2. So this is quadratic polynomial. When quadratic polynomial is equated to 0, then it becomes a quadratic equation, and it is having one variable. So it is a polynomial equation of degree 2. इसका degree 2 है in one variable type, where a, b, c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. It is the general form of a quadratic equation where a is called the leading coefficient and c is called the constant or the absolute term of this equation. Okay, so if we go here, a, b, c are real numbers, a is not equal to 0, and what is c called? C is a constant or an absolute term whose value doesn't change, absolute term. Okay, now we have understood what is a quadratic equation. Now let's see how to identify quadratic equations. We have understood that if we write anything like this, okay, in front of x square if we write any number, in front of x if we write any number, and here we can write anything, okay, and if we equate it to 0, it becomes a quadratic equation. But sometimes this is hidden, okay, this is in disguise. जैसे पुराने जमाने में राजा महाराजा डिस्गाइज में भेष बदल कर जाते थे. सो डिस्गाइज मतलब भेष बदली हुई क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस. Now here, see, this is not in the standard form, isn't it? But this is a quadratic equation. See if we can convert it in the standard form. Bring this 3x to the other side. So x square minus 3x. Bring this minus 1 also on the other side. So it becomes plus 1 is equal to 0. So isn't it a quadratic equation now? Yes, because it can be compared with ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. इसी फॉर्म में है ना? तो in this equation, what is a? A is 1. If there is nothing written in front of it, it means it is 1. Okay, what is b? B is minus 3 and c is equal to 1. Understood? So yes, this is a quadratic equation. Now see here, does it look like a quadratic equation to you? Yes, it is a quadratic equation. Let's solve it and let's simplify it to understand. See, this 2 is been multiplied with this full bracket. So 2 will be multiplied with w square. Then it will be multiplied with minus 2w. So it becomes minus 4w. And if I bring this plus 5 on the other side, it becomes minus 5 is equal to 0. So yes, this is a quadratic equation. See, this is the variable with power 2, variable with power 1. Okay, and this is an absolute term or constant. And this is a non-zero number. So here a is equal to 2, b is equal to minus 4 and c is equal to minus 5. I hope you have understood. Now let's see. Here you are not able to see any square, correct? But even this is a quadratic equation. Yes, this is a quadratic equation. How come? Let's solve this and see. See, z into z is z square. Z into minus 1 is minus z. And if we bring this 3 on the other side, it becomes minus 3 is equal to 0. So see, there is this variable with power 2, variable with power 1, and here there is a constant or variable with power 0. If there is nothing written in front of it, it means there is a 1. So a is equal to 1, B is equal to -1 and C is equal to -3. Understood? So this is a quadratic equation. Now let's talk about roots of a quadratic equation. What do you mean by roots? Roots means solutions. Okay, solutions of the quadratic equations. Okay, or we can say answers. So when we find the value of x, okay, it is basically the value of x for which in the equation the left hand side value is equal to right hand side. That is called roots of a quadratic equation. Now let's understand the solutions of the quadratic equation where it is equal to 0. They are called roots or sometimes zeros. देखो, अगर if I have this equation 4x square minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So that value of x, here I will put some value of x. Okay, for example, if I put a 2, okay, that value of x by which if we get on left hand side also 0, if this is equated to 0, that means that value of x is the root or the zeros of this equation. Okay, so the values of x satisfying the quadratic equation are the roots of the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation will always have how many roots? हमेशा quadratic equation के दो roots होंगे, 2 roots. And the nature of roots can be either real or imaginary. The nature of roots we'll talk about in the coming sessions. But right now you understand that quadratic equation के हमेशा कितने roots होंगे? How many roots it will have? 2 roots. Now let's check whether the given values are roots or not. देखो, this is the quadratic equation that is being given to you. Okay, now you have to check whether x equal to 3 by 2, whether 3 by 2 is the root of this quadratic equation or not. So see, wherever there is x, we will write 3 by 2. So there is x square, so we will write 3 by 2 square. Minus 7, then instead of this x, we will write 3 by 2. Then plus 6. This is the left hand side. So let's first solve the left hand side and see whether it is coming equal to 0 or not. Okay, so this left hand side becomes 2, in 3 square is 9 and 2 square is 4. This is full multiplied. Minus 7 3s are 21 divided by 2 and this is 6. Okay, so now what we get is 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. So we get 9 by 2 minus 21 by 2 plus 6. So it is nothing but 6 by 1. So if we take the LCM of the denominators 2, 2 and 1, we get a 2. Okay, so here we get 9, here we get 21. But here since there is 1 in the denominator, so इसको भी 2 से मल्टीप्लाई अगर हमने किया तो ही 2 आया, तो हमें न्यूमरेटर को भी 2 से मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. Are you getting me? This is how you solve the fractions. Okay, so here we get 6 2s are 12. So now 9 plus 12 is 21. 21 minus 21 by 2. So it is 0 by 2, which is equal to 0 itself. Right? Which is equal to 0 itself. So we can say left hand side is equal to 0, which is also equal to the right hand side. Right? So we can say left hand side is equal to right hand side. Therefore, 3 by 2 is the solution or is the root of the given quadratic equation. Have you all understood? Is that clear to you? Now let's check the next one. Let's check whether x equal to minus 2 is the root of this equation or not. So first I will write the equation 2x square minus 7x plus 6 equal to 0. So first let's do only left hand side. Okay, I'm just doing the left hand side. So this is equal to 2 I will write as it is. Instead of x I will write minus 2. So minus 2 square minus 7. Instead of x I will write minus 2 then plus 6. This will be equal to, see, minus 2 का square is 4. So 2 into 4 minus 7 minus 2 is minus into minus is positive. So plus 14 plus 6. So this is 4 2s are 8. 8 plus 14 plus 6. So 14 plus 6 is 20. 20 plus 8 is 28. So this is equal to 28, which is not equal to 0. So this is not equal to RHS. So we can say since left hand side is not equal to right hand side, therefore x equal to minus 2 or simply minus 2 is not the root of the given quadratic equation. Is that clear? Is it clear to you, my dear children, how to check whether the given value is the root or not? Now see the next question. If x equal to 5 is the root of the equation, this is the equation. Okay, now they are saying कि x equal to 5 is the root. ये इसका root है. Directly ऐसे बताया है कि x equal to 5 is the root of this equation. Okay, so if x equal to 5 is the root, then wherever I am putting the value of x as 5, I will get left hand side equal to right hand side. Correct? So they have given x equal to 5 is the root of this quadratic equation. Then you have to find the value of k. That is the value of unknown. So what we will do, if 5 is the root, if 5 is the root of given equation, we will write like this. If 5 is the root of the given equation, then left hand side will be equal to right hand side, right? So I will write kx square minus 14x minus 5. This will be equal to 0. Correct? So now instead of x, I will have to write 5. So 5 square minus 14 into 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. Right? So 5 square is 25. So 25 into k is 25k. 14 into 5 is 70. So minus 70 minus 5 is equal to 0. I hope you are understanding. So now it becomes 25k. Now minus 70 minus 5, both are the same signs. So we will add them and put the same sign. So 25k minus 75 is 0. If I bring this minus 75 on the other side, it becomes 25k is equal to 75. Right? Therefore, we can write k will be equal to 75 by 25. So k will be equal to, see, 25 1s are 25, 25 3s are 75. So k is equal to 3. We could find out the value of the unknown. Okay. So if we know any of the root of the equation, we put that root, any one root if we know, we put that value in the quadratic equation and we equate left hand side equal to right hand side and we find the value of k. Now see, I have brought some questions from this particular book. This book is very good for your practice. Okay. So this is Oswal Gurukul's most likely question bank. Okay. So I have brought these questions, blue colored questions from this particular book. This book has lots and lots and lots of questions. Okay. So if you see quadratic equations, if I open quadratic equations here, I will open it for you and show you quickly. See here how it is. Initially there is full explanation of the chapter in short in this diagrammatic form. Okay, then there are a lot of multiple choice questions. See, there are so many multiple choice questions. Then there are short questions, long questions along with the explanation. Even the multiple choice questions are along with the explanation. See, there are short answer type questions. Then there are long answer type questions. Can you see so many questions from quadratic equations? word problems, assertion and reasoning type of questions. Okay, and then case based questions are there. So many questions are there from the chapter. Passage based questions, and then there is self-assessment. So there are total 136 questions from the chapter quadratic equations. So this book is Oswal Gurukul, most likely CBSE question bank. There is chapter wise and category wise questions. Okay, each chapter is there and there is a special focus on new pattern questions. Okay, each chapter with a lot of variety of questions are there. So I'll give you the link of this book in the description box. So let's solve few questions from the same topic that we have covered today. See, the first multiple choice question is, if x equal to 2 is the solution of this quadratic equation, then find the value of k. We have just now done a question like this. See, kx square plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so wherever there is x, we put 2. Okay, because 2 is the solution. So 2 square. यहाँ पे भी there is an x, so we put 2. Minus 3 is equal to 0. So 2 square is 4. So 4 into k is 4k plus 4 minus 3 is equal to 0. So here this is 4k plus 4 minus 3. Both are different signs. Yes. So we will subtract them and put the sign of the bigger. So plus 1 is equal to 0. So what will be 4k if I will have to bring plus 1 on the other side? It becomes minus 1. So k will be equal to minus 1 by 4, which is option number D. Okay, k is equal to minus 1 by 4. I hope you have understood this. Let's see the next question now. If one root of the quadratic equation is 2 by 3, then again find the value of k. So let's write the equation first. The equation is 6x square minus x minus k is equal to 0. Now one of the root is 2 by 3. So instead of x, we will put 2 by 3. So instead of x, we will put 2 by 3. Okay. Now let's solve. This is 2 square is 4. 3 square is 9. Minus 2 by 3 minus k is equal to 0. Now since this is a multiplication, we can cancel it. So 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. So this becomes 8 by 3, right? Minus 2 by 3 is equal to, I'll take this minus k on the other side, is equal to k. So 3 is the common denominator. 8 minus 2 is 6. So we cancel 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6. So we can say k is equal to 2. So answer A. This is the correct answer. I hope this is very, very clear to all of you. Let's see one more question. Which of the following is the root of this equation? So you have been given this equation, x square minus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. Now out of these 4, which one is the root? So how will you do? You will keep on checking. Put x equal to 5 in this equation and see if the left hand side is becoming equal to the right hand side, becoming equal to 0 or not. Then check this, then check this, check this. Check all 4 of them and see in which case left hand side is becoming equal to right hand side. So let's start. First, let's take the first value. Okay. So let's check 5 square minus 7 into 5 plus 12. How much is it coming? We are just taking the left hand side. So this is 25 minus 35 plus 12. This is in no way coming equal to 0. So this is not equal to 0. Therefore 5 is not the root of the equation, right? है ना, ये तो 0 नहीं आ रहा है. Let's check another one. Let's check B. So x square minus 7x plus 12. Okay, let's put minus 1 instead of x. So here I put minus 1. So this minus 1 square is 1. This is minus 7 into minus 1 is plus 7 plus 12. So all are positive. This is in no way becoming equal to 0, not equal to 0. So this is not a root. This is also not a root. Let's check this. So we write the equation x square minus 7x plus 12 equal to 0. Okay. Instead of x we put 3. So 3 square minus 7 into 3 plus 12. So 3 square is 9 minus 21 plus 12. So 12 plus 9 is 21. So 21 minus 21 is equal to 0. So yes, this is the root of the quadratic equation, this quadratic equation. I hope you have understood. See, since right now we have not understood how to find the root of the quadratic equations. In the coming lectures, I will explain you how to find the root of the quadratic equation. Till now, we have only understood that if there are certain values given, how to check whether they are the root of the equation. Right? So we have just checked them. In the next coming lectures, I will explain you there are many methods of finding roots of a quadratic equation. We will go one by one with all those methods. Now see, if one root of the quadratic equation is, okay, so again the same thing, you have to put all these values in the place of x and see whether left hand side is equal to right hand side or not. See, 3x square minus 4x minus 4 is equal to 0. Let's check by taking 3 by 2 first. So 3 into 3 by 2 ka square minus 4 into 3 by 2 minus 4. Let's see. So 3 into 9 by 4 minus 12 by 2 minus 4. Okay. So 9 3 is 27 by 4 minus 21 by 2 minus 4 by 1. So if I take 4 as the LCM, it becomes 27 minus 42, then 4 4s are 16, minus 16. So minus 42 minus 16 दोनों सेम साइन है तो ऐड हो जाएंगे तो हो जाएगा माइनस 58. 27 minus 58 by 4. It is no way turning around to be equal to 0, है ना, क्योंकि ये कुछ see, these are different signs, 58 and 27. So you subtract it, minus 31 by 4. So this is not equal to 0. So this can't be a root of this quadratic equation. Correct? Let's check this. So I'm putting it here only. 3 into 2 square minus 4 into 2 minus 4. So 3 into 4 is 12 minus 8 minus 4. So it is 12 minus 12, which is equal to 0. So this is the root of the quadratic equation 2. Yes, is it clear? Now see, if a is the natural number and one of the roots of the equation, so they are saying a is the root of the equation. So simply x की जगह आपको a लगाना है. Okay, then find the value. Then the value of a is, now basically they are telling us to find the value of x only. No worries. So again check all of them. Check all of them. Which one is in which one left hand side is becoming equal to right hand side. The same procedure you have to follow and find out. I hope this is very clear to you. So in today's lecture, we understood few concepts. We understood what is a quadratic equation, what is the standard form of a quadratic equation, how to check whether a given value is the root of the quadratic equation, and how to find the unknown if one of the root of the quadratic equation is given to you. In the next coming classes, I will explain you factorization method, okay, of finding the value of x or finding the roots of the quadratic equations. I will explain you completing the square method, formula method. Then we will talk a lot about value of your roots, the nature of the roots, and many more things on quadratic equations. So stay tuned on Zenith Academy Online and keep the learning always on.